what we're going to have a look at now is using a pivot in guide mode when the anchors are a long way away. So the context here would be it's the last pitch of a multi-pitch route that you're doing with your clients. Maybe you've switched into parallel because the day's knocking on a little bit and you're wanting to expedite getting back down to the road. So at this point now, things become a little bit more involved if you want to keep them in guide mode. So I could tie myself off here conventionally with clove hitches and put a belay plate onto my rope loop and bring them up one at a time. That would be fine, but the whole reason we've done this is because we were concerned with time, and so we're in parallel because we want to get them moving. Belaying two people with a belay plate loaded conventionally at the same time, particularly in steeper ground, can potentially be very dangerous, and you really want to be thinking about avoiding that. If one of the clients falls off and you can't communicate, so that rope is then fully loaded and the other client is still climbing, it's very hard for you to manage both ropes in that context. Okay, so here what we need to do is we need to create a system where we can have both clients moving with the belay plate in guide mode, but I still want to be close to the edge to maybe help with communication or, you know, check them out on a harder move towards the top. So I need to come away from the anchors. It is going to be at the top of the climb. You're not going to be able to do this halfway up a multi-pitch route unless it's some football sized ledge, because once they come up to the belay plate, when they move past the belay plate, they're then in a lead climbing context. So when I do this, I'm quite careful as to the actual place that I utilise it as a technique. So I've built a belay, I've got 3 anchors in there, I've equalised 2 of them with a sling. I'm going to come back to about where I want to stand, and then I'm going to pull through 2 arm lengths of rope on my side of the ropes, like that. So it's got quite a bit of slack in the system. I need to be mindful of my security now, so I'm only going to be doing this in ground where I feel not too threatened. And at this point here, I'm now going to tie myself an overhand knot on the bight. Trying to keep that as neat as I can, get it dressed. There we go. I want a bit of slack here because I don't want to be loading this off the back. So I deliberately have that with a little bit more slack than maybe you think you need, and then at that point I can get my clove hitch in there so I'm in exactly the right place that I want to be. So that works well for me, having that little extra bit of rope. Great, so now I'm ready Rosie, Jim, safe! Away we go.